Won't you make it to the border of Mexico? So we're right.
See, look at this. Still fits me after 10 years.
So there's a scarf.
I'm over shop with Patrick. Hello, Patrick. His name is Marc Bolton.
What's going on? Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a fabulous act tonight. It's not the act that's on the poster in the foyer.
No, there's the chicken bloke from X Factor.
I'm going to marry him one day.
Slap it red raw.
Look at these little fat fingers. My favourite food ever is fish chips and peas. We need to get in. We need to get in. It's a puppet. Don't you do that song? No. And
You're not having no more chips unless you eat that. Let me tell you that now. Get it in you. You bet.
look at that squirrel.
Hello, welcome to episode 3 of the In Brother Words podcast. My name's Tommy. This is my brother Robbie. Still a pretty new podcast. 3 episodes in, going well so far.
Yep.
Really happy with the support we're getting. So thank you to everyone who's subscribed so far. We're currently on 89 subscribers, so we're edging towards that 100 mark. So if you like what you see, please like the video, subscribe, because there's plenty more coming. Discuss a lot of topics. And then we're going to get some interesting guests on as well. Thank you, Mark. And that leads us on nicely to our first ever guest on the In Brother Words podcast. And what a place to start, Mr. Marc Bolton.
How you doing?
You good?
It's great to be here today. I love your show. I just love your show. Really do. I've got all your albums.
Thank you so much for doing this for us.
Yeah,
Mark.
really
welcome.
appreciate it.
Not a problem.
So we're here to just have a nice casual chat today. We want to kind of discuss a whole range of things because I know you've got quite a loyal fan base from all over the country because of what you do. We want to go a bit personal, a bit not personal, a bit light-hearted, cover
God.
a range of topics. Is that all good?
Of course it is. That's
Fantastic,
far away.
awesome. So I think the logical place to start is talk to us a little bit about childhood. So any fond memories? What was childhood like for you?
I had the best childhood you could ever wish for.
Yeah.
We didn't have a lot, but what we had, we made good use of.
Mm-hmm.
80s. I mean, you weren't born in the 80s, were you?
No.
94 and 96, so a bit
even
before our time. But tell us about it.
Great. Well, what I can remember, the furthest back I can go was probably round about when we moved to Newhall, which was about 1982 when we moved to Park Street, and it was awesome. The music. I had a great sister, which we never got on. Did you get on when you were younger?
Me and you? Me
Yeah,
and Rob?
yeah. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's a weird one because
It blossomed over time.
you grew to like me, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, it all came to a blow when Robbie smacked me with an Xbox controller and split me lip. Never got to that level.
Xbox, we had a ZX Spectrum Plus if we was lucky.
Yeah.
Daley Thompson's decathlon doing this, trying to make it run. What's going on?
What's the age difference then between you and your sister?
I was born 74, she was born 77, so is that 3?
Yeah. You do the math.
Yeah, 3 years. But like I say, 1982 was a great year. We moved to Park Street. The Christmases, I remember, we used to say, Dad, I want a bike, or I want this. And it was always, see what Santa brings you.
Yeah.
It was always at Christmas you got these things. Now, kids, they have what they want when they want.
Yeah.
And it's just lost its meaning, but what a great childhood. I mean, we could go to the local orchard near Newhall Church, and we used to play Rambo. Okay, so I mean, I used to carry a Rambo knife with me just round the street, with the compass on the top.
Yeah.
Oh God! And we used to go into the woods and play army, but they used to shout to me, "Oh, we know where you are." I said, "Why?" I said, "You're doing the Rambo music." And it was, and then our parents, well, especially my mum, she was at home. She used to say, have a great day, and we'd go in the school holidays at 9 in the morning, and we won't come back until the street lights came on. As soon as that street light came on, we knew it was home.
We just
time.
felt completely safe to be out and about all day.
It was great, and we weren't safe, but we had no social media telling us.
Yeah.
But we had the best of times. Great friends. We used to play knock door run. Can you remember that?
Yeah.
We call it parcel force now, don't we? We used to knock it. And they used to come out. We know who you are. Who are you? What's that all about? Kirby. I mean, we've all played Kirby.
Yeah, that's even survived the test of time with
It
me
has,
and Rob.
hasn't it?
Yeah, me and Tommy were like a weird generation where we sort of played outside still a bit until maybe we were like 7, 8. We were still going out and play and doing the football and things like that. And then we slowly went into the Xbox, PlayStation sort of generation, and so we've sort of seen both sides. Whereas obviously kids now are just all technology.
Well,
aren't
we had nothing. No phones. No social media. It was go out and make we used to make bows and arrows with a bit of string, and across the road from the post office in Newhall there was 2 patches of woodland. As you walk down the smack opposite, like a little walkway to the chapel.
Yeah,
and there used to be 2 patches of woodland there, and that was our Vietnam. That was our Nam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we used to put our fingers in mud and put it over us to camouflage, and anybody walking past up to the post office, we used to fire arrows at them.
Yeah.
Oh,
I knew you were going to have fond memories of your childhood because I always notice on Facebook anything like 80s or whatever, you love it, don't you? The nostalgia
love
of
the
it.
80s.
So about the music then?
Well, you can ask me any question on 80s music and I'll knock it out the park.
Is that your mastermind?
Yes, the TV was good in the 80s as well. You've missed some crack. Alvida St. Pet, Minder.
Yeah.
I mean, I can remember my dad. My mum used to make us watch Dallas. I think it was on a Wednesday, and we used to have fish, chips, and peas from Hillcrest.
That's still around at them days.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it's been there since 1844. I can remember my dad
Same
saying,
oil as well.
My dad used to say, "Right, we're going up the chippy. What do you want?" I'll say, "I'll have fish and chips, Dad." "You're not having that. We can't afford that." I said, "Well, what you asked me for then?" "You'll share a sausage with Joe."
And obviously you're still living in the Swad area now.
Yes.
I was interested to ask you, has much changed in your time?
Well, we sold the house in Newhall and the council went mad. But, no. When I got married at a younger age. I was only 19, 20, and I had my daughter Connie. But we always stayed in Newhall. And then when me and Jackie separated, I moved to Woodville.
Okay.
And I've been there ever since. And it's great. I just love the area. I love the Swaddling Coat area. I love the people.
Yeah.
My dad's always had pubs and clubs, which we'll probably talk about.
Yeah, we will do.
Later. So, I've always been in this community. Could I live anywhere else? No, probably not.
No. But don't you feel like you're a big part of the community around here, though, aren't you, as well?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
You're allowed to blow your own trumpet a little bit.
Yeah. I think it's particularly with like the social media and stuff now. It's allowed you to sort of gain some sort of following on Facebook and things like that.
Unbelievable.
So people, can go out and see a gig, and whereas before they'd say, "Oh, I saw this Marc Bolton, he was brilliant," and then that'd be it. Now they can follow all your stuff online and
check the dates out where you're going to be performing, your videos, hopefully this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Times have changed, boys. Times have changed. But 80s, great memories.
Yeah. So what about school then? So what school did you go to?
I went to Elmsley Drive.
Okay.
From there, we went to Springfield. Brilliant. Great schools. Great Elmsley Drive. We had a dinner lady there, Mrs. Clifford. If that's not Adolf Hitler reincarnated, I don't know what was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she used to wear this this lipstick so thick and then a black pencil round. She looked like a clown.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Honestly. And I hated cheese and I hated fish as a kid. And we used to have like a fish in cheese sauce. And I just wanted loads of chips. And
You're not having no more chips unless you eat that. Let me tell you that now. Get it in you.
I said, well, it make me sick.
Get it in you.
And what did I do? was sick.
Really?
Yeah, cut with
Oh.
everybody. It's like The Exorcist. But yeah, and then we finished up in Pingle.
Pingle, yeah. So did you go to school with our dad? Is this sort of age? How old are you?
19, I don't know, 47.
Yeah. Yeah, so our dad's like 49.
49.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're a couple of years older
Yeah,
than you.
it was. I can remember him.
Mm.
He used to bully me. Yes, I can remember him. But
Yeah.
oh, what great days! If I could go back tomorrow, I'd go back tomorrow.
Yeah.
I would learn a little bit more. I really would, especially languages where I never flew until these last few years. You know,
Yeah.
I would never get on a plane, so I was left at home when Mum and Dad went on holiday. And I can remember the French teacher, Mrs. Slater. She used to walk into a class, and I'd turn around to my mate Ozzy, and I go, "I'm going to make her cry."
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we did. We kind of like she wanted to leave a job and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
But would I go back and start all over again? I would. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think that sometimes. I think a lot of people can relate to that, like your school years being your sort of your most enjoyable ones.
Unbelievable.
So you didn't fly in an airplane until a couple of years ago?
No, well, I say a couple of about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was my friend Ronnie over in Spain. He says, "I want you to come and see me." I went, "Nah, not a chance. No way." And he booked the flights.
Mm.
He said, "Well, I've booked the flights." You know what I mean? All you got to do is, I got my passport and everything.
Yeah.
I got that, but I just couldn't get the courage to do
Yeah,
it.
was this fear of flying then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine came with me, and flew with me. And once we were up there, I'm thinking, what the hell?
Yeah. Did you think, oh, all these years I haven't come?
Wasted.
Yeah.
Completely wasted. Shame. And I've been all around the world.
Made
ever
up for
since.
it now.
Yeah, we have. Yeah. Skegness.
Yeah.
No more.
So what about so what did you do like at school in terms of like GCSEs, or was it O levels? And stuff
Right,
then? And then
well,
was it,
that's a
like-
bit of a story, that is, because I never went back to any. I can remember my mum, she used to work at a shop called Arthur Fox's. Arthur Cox was the Derby manager. Arthur Fox's, they were a fruit and veg shop
Yeah.
in Swad. And I can remember the secretary of the school coming into class once saying, "Mark, you've got to go home straight away, you've got a dentist appointment." And I'd get home and there'd be a note on the table saying, "Mark, we're short-staffed, get your arse down here, quick."
Oh,
now."
really?
I mean, I don't know whether I could say that, but so I didn't actually go back for any GCSEs.
Yeah.
I left to work with my dad in the building trade. So I wished I'd have done them. I really do, but
Yeah.
no qualifications whatsoever.
Really?
None.
Wow.
But now you're the first guest on the podcast.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah.
All worth it.
So when did the music? When did that come into your life then, in terms of like from a job perspective?
As a job perspective, was when my dad, he had the Greyhound at Woodville. So we're shooting back 1990, 1991, which is 30 years. And I just left school, and he was just coming out the building trade into the pub trade. And he says that you can earn some money at this. And you could, not as much as what you can earn now, but
Yeah.
you could earn some money. So in them days, we used tapes. Your people that listening to this ain't got a clue what tapes are, but they're kind of like, we'd use an iPod nowadays for
Yeah.
our music. They're on tape, so I had all my tapes done professionally. I got some homemade speakers and an amplifier, and I had a great upbringing in the pubs because I could go there and learn my trade in my dad's pubs.
Yeah.
So that's when it kicked in for me. And then it wasn't till 1992 as I went full-time professional, got my business cards done. And my name was going to be, this is a true story, David Marks, because my second name was David after my dad.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll have David Marks with an X, like Richard Marks.
Yeah.
And then Michael Bolton released How Am I Supposed to Live Without You? Bolton spelt Bolton. And, I thought I might as well just change the K to a C on the mark, got my cards done, and away I went. I've never looked back.
Okay, so your actual name has got a K in it.
It's a K.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's
I was
exclusive. Do you
yeah.
know?
I was going to ask you about whether you had any stage names that along the way,
I
but
just changed it from a K to a C.
yeah.
And it was all down to Michael Bolton. And when I met him 2 years ago, Sam Bailey took me backstage to meet him at Nottingham.
Yeah.
I says, I finally met the original Bolton.
Yeah.
He went, no, his real name was Bolton.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he changed it to Bolton. So
Yeah, yeah.
Because I thought we were family. I thought the Boltons meet again.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
There's
it
quite a
wasn't.
lot of people like that, isn't there? Because, you know, like James Blunt, his surname's actually Blount, but he said it sounded too posh, so he changed it and stuff. I think that's quite a common
Yeah.
thing, isn't it, in the music
yeah,
industry?
Mm.
So how long had you been doing it, like, as a hobby? So you always done it as a kid, in terms of playing instruments and things like that?
Absolutely. I can remember as a kid, my dad he got me this ghetto blaster, they called them in them days, with a radio and a cassette on it. And I used to sit on the toilet for many hours with a pair of drumsticks and the aerial for the radio as my microphone.
Really?
Until I couldn't feel my legs.
Yeah.
And my mum's banging on the door, we need to get in. We need to get in. And I'd be that. So music from an early age, big time. The influence is what my dad was listening to, which was country music, just great singers. And Joe Longthorne, he was a big influence.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when it was a hobby. But then when we went into the pub trade, all my dad's friends were all musicians.
Mm.
So it was kind of like the way to go.
Yeah.
And the only way you could make a living at it in them days was probably being a solo act or in a duo. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
So how did you kind of get that ball rolling in terms of becoming, a pub act in the area rather than just the place that your dad had? Did he help you get into other places? Did he have contacts in the area?
He did have contacts, but it was a matter of, I can remember once getting the Yellow Pages, going to the pub section, and then ringing every single pub in the Yellow Pages in a local area from Eastleek, which is Kegworth Way,
Yeah.
Swadley, and just saying, do you do entertainment? And if it was no, bang, phone down.
Yeah.
If it was yes, I say, well, I'm a singer. And they either gave you a chance or they didn't, but they couldn't find new acts unless they gave you a chance.
Yeah.
Your job then was to get a rebooking.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that's how I got a lot of contacts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And did you always know that, from when you started, that this was what you wanted to do long term, or did it ever feel like I'm just going to do this for a bit until I find something else?
No, it was the only thing I could do.
Yeah.
And could do well at the time, and my voice hadn't broke still, I don't think, at the time, so I was still singing like Phil Collins on Helium. But I got people booking me. The phone was ringing for gigs, which in them days you go out for 40 quid, and it was good money.
Yeah.
But your times 340s, that's 120 quid a week, which in the very early 90s,
Was a lot of money.
and I
yeah.
got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was the only thing I was good at, so I became to appreciate it, and I've never looked back, really.
Yeah. Was there any element of it where it was like you resented it because you were missing all the social time off, and because you're working unsociable hours, I suppose, isn't it?
No, not at all. Absolutely not at all. I can remember my dad always making me go upstairs and have a practice on my piano and my keyboard before I went out playing. But I always had time to play with all the boys and girls, football and things.
Yeah.
But music was my first love, I suppose.
Yeah.
Did you have lessons on the piano? And
I
stuff?
did.
'Cause you're very good, aren't you?
I'd only a few lessons, not a lot, because she was awful. This woman in Hartson, Mrs. Barker, she used to hit you on the hand with a little ruler. You know, and I used, please don't take me today, Dad. Please,
Yeah.
you're going. It's cost me $150. You're going.
Yeah.
Please. And but my dad, he taught me how to play. He learnt me all the chord structures, and if you could play chords, you could busk.
Yeah.
Mm.
If I was to say to you, right, we're going to do Teenager in Love and it's in C, you knew that what chords came after what, C, F, and G with an A minor.
Yeah.
So he learnt me all that, and then it was just a matter of teaching myself, which was great.
Play any at school? Any instruments at school?
My favourite instrument at school was the dinner bell. I loved that, but yeah, I used to play drums at school. I can remember Bob Castle, Mr. Castle, the music teacher, dragging me out of all different lessons to come and play drums for him, while he was doing some like dance for the dancers. You know what I mean? The GCSE dancers.
Yeah.
He'd have to play piano, and he wanted a percussionist. And I can remember him dragging me in a few times, and I always thought I was going to be a drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you had to choose one instrument to go
Now-
and do professionally, like as a, you
I
wouldn't be a singer, but you'd be that. What would it be?
It would years ago when it would have been a drummer.
Yeah.
Now it would be a saxophonist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because playing in bands with great saxophone players, they just turn up 10 minutes before you go on, take the sax out, plug it in,
That'd be the coolest one in the room.
every time.
So that video that you did, which will be on the start of this podcast with the Ride Like the Wind song.
Yeah, Carl.
Yeah. Again, I thought he was like the coolest guy in the room. Apart from you, obviously.
He was the coolest guy in the room. probably the oldest guy in the room as well.
Yeah.
But he just was the coolest. Yeah, what a talent. Carl Stanley. Check him out, Carl Stanley.
Yeah.
Awesome player. Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, saxophone or bass guitar.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
It's
the
funky,
chat,
that is, isn't it?
When you listen to this back, our soundtrack is by my friend called Ruben Hawthorne, and he creates his own music, and he's a bass player. He's just sensational.
He's
isn't he?
awesome, yeah.
It's just such a sexy instrument, isn't it?
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's lovely. I'd love to be able to play that. I can always remember in the early days when I used to go out with my dad, Kev and Bet. Kev was always the coolest guy on the just.
I think it's
bass.
because you can sort of look quite naturally relaxed while you're playing it.
He did.
Yeah, it's a bit like more chilled out in the electric guitar, isn't it? Because there's a bit more going on when you're doing that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Something about slapping it as well.
Slap it red raw.
Kev was never a slapper.
No.
He was more of a plucker.
Oh, is he?
He was a plucker, was Kev.
Do you think anybody could learn to play an instrument? Because I've never,
Yes.
I've never played an instrument, and it's on my I've got like a list on my phone basically of things to do in my life,
You must.
and it's one of the ones I like
Everyone
to
should learn how to play an instrument. I mean, look at these little fat fingers. You don't want to thought about to play piano.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I guarantee everyone should learn to play an instrument.
do. Yeah.
But make it fun. You know what I mean? Don't be mega serious.
Then put like a
about
time
it.
pressure on it and say right.
No,
well,
because
yeah.
you probably won't, earn a living from it. Not nowadays.
Mm.
But have some fun with it.
Yeah. What would you recommend going for then? Like as an instrument to start out with?
But, just an acoustic guitar, or if
Yeah.
you get yourself a little keyboard because you can plug your headphones in, you're not disturbing anybody.
Yeah, play around on that.
But you can get some nice drum kits now, electronic headphone job.
They're good as well, aren't
Yeah, backing tracks you can buy for £1.50 where you take the drums out. And just
Oh,
leave
that's
a,
good.
Yeah, leave a click in so you can just play along to them. So any instrument really, but for space, a guitar, little keyboard, portable keyboard.
Yeah, yeah. Because on that list I've got there's loads of different things, but it's like learn first aid. Learn a language was like the top of the list after I've just qualified for my exam. So
agree.
it was like do a language. So for the last 6 weeks I've just started beginner's Spanish.
Spanish?
Yeah, so I'm hoping that within a few years'
He's
time
only got
I'll
a few
be-
weeks left of English as well, hasn't he?
I can speak fluent Spanish.
Can you?
Yeah. Hey, gringo. Go away. Do you ever see them spaghetti westerns?
Yeah, when it's like dubbed over. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, gringo.
Loved it.
Yeah, so that's my evenings now is doing that. So I'm hoping that maybe I'll be I could be in an Enrique Iglesias tribute act somewhere down the line.
Maybe.
Yes, I can see it now.
So another kind of big part of your acts is the comedy side.
Yep.
So we want to go into that a little bit
Oh yeah,
with a little something Robbie's put together.
Yeah. So, you're familiar with Mount Rushmore in America, where it's got the 4 presidents
That's right,
on
yeah.
the mountain? Yeah. So there's this like sort of popular thing on the internet now where people will pick a topic and then they say, what's the Mount Rushmore of that topic? So for say, if it was the Mount Rushmore of Manchester United, for example, they might say, right, George Best, Alex Ferguson, Bobby Charlton, whatever.
Key
Like, pick
people.
the four most important people in the history of that topic. So I was wondering if you had one for like British comedy,
Yes.
Mount Rushmore.
Absolutely.
What do you think it would
What
be?
a great question. First one for me is Freddie Starr.
Okay, we said that. We said he's definitely going to put Freddie Starr in there.
I told it.
Why?
Yeah,
We're going to go in on each one as well. Like why?
Okay, why Freddie Starr? He could walk on a stage and within 3 seconds that the audience was in his hands and
Yeah.
they were crying.
Mm.
Tommy Cooper was like that, but Freddie Starr took a little bit of Tommy, and Freddie's the number one. He'll be the first face for me.
Yeah.
Second face would be Brian Connolly.
Okay.
You probably don't remember him.
No,
No,
I
I
don't really
do.
know. I don't really know.
It's a puppet.
Yeah, I
From
do
the
know who it
90s,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, I did a little bit of research in the hope that
Oh, okay.
he picks
You
some
might
that
know.
I've spoken.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
had a look at.
Brian Connolly. Who else would it be then? I think then we're moving forward into your Peter Kay.
Yeah.
Just missing out would be Billy Connolly, who's a complete genius.
Yeah.
But I think God at the minute, in my opinion, is Ricky Gervais.
Yes, 100% agree. Yeah. So when we did this as well, and mine was Ricky Gervais, Peter Kay, John Cleese, and Rowan Atkinson. But that's just was more
Awesome.
sort of my era in terms of the shows, and I think like Rowan Atkinson across various different, Blackadder and even like Mr. Bean and things like that has touched a lot of like different generations of people as well.
Of course, I think the modern day, your Rowan Atkinson, your Ben Elton, Ricky Gervais, the Marmite.
Yeah.
You either love them or hate them.
Mm-hmm.
Where Freddie Starr, you could, from the old age pensioner to the kid, could go and see one of his summer shows.
Yeah.
and love.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
something
I
they
watched
do.
a video of him it was on Facebook the other day, and I think he was singing singing on stage with quite a famous singer. Is it Shirley Bassey? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's sort of like, it's like a French sort of song that he sing along, and I'd never seen that before. I'd seen very little of Freddie Starr as well, and I was like crying, laughing, watching it.
Yeah.
It's just like timeless, isn't it? That sort of like
Unbelievable. When he was the clips of him on Des O'Connor, which was a chat show in the 80s and early 90s, was legendary. People knew that he was going to be on that night, and it was probably the best ratings the show ever had.
Yeah, because back in those days as well, like when people had less channels, you get regular like 10, 15 million people watching. You know, like Bullseye on a Sunday, like 15 million people watching Bullseye on a Sunday.
They're bringing that back, aren't they? Is
Yeah,
it
I
next
think so.
week? They're having a bit
Yeah,
of Bullseye
they are,
with.
Yeah, it's the Alan Carr
Alan
thing.
Carr.
And to be fair, it's really good. If you
I've
see the
enjoyed it.
other two, like,
I've enjoyed it.
it's
But
well
the
done.
play cards right. Saturday was
Price is Right.
Price
wasn't
is
it?
Right. Come on
Yeah.
down.
But my dad said that on a Sunday back in the day, everybody would have their Sunday dinner. You'd like play football in the morning, pub, Sunday dinner, and then everybody would sit and watch
Your
Bullseye.
dad is spot on.
Yeah.
100% spot on. It was like a religion.
Yeah.
Can't beat you with a bully. I don't. Listen to Shelby's questions. And the best bits about that was when Jim, who I'd met and worked with,
Yeah.
when he got it wrong.
Well, just like what messed it up.
Just messed it up, and they can't. The producers kept it in,
Yeah.
and they were the best bits.
Yeah.
But what a great show format! Everyone could play it.
Yeah. And it just tapped perfectly into the working class because it was darts based, and it was just
Brilliant.
perfect, wasn't
And
it?
like I say, everyone could play it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's cool. Loved
Yeah.
it. But once again, we're going back to the 80s, aren't we, with the Bullseye thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There'd be my choices.
Yeah. So in terms of like comedy in your performances and stuff, then, so is there any one specific person who's in?
Well, who do you think? It's got to be Freddie Starr.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, when a beautiful song here tonight.
That's what it is. It's the little
That's
voices.
what I
isn't
noticed.
it?
That the little voice that you sort of slip into when you're doing it, it's very similar, isn't it? To
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the younger generation who didn't know Freddie Starr, they think it's good because it's the first time they're seeing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the people who love Freddie Starr come up and say, God, I love
just
Freddie
like
Starr.
him.
You
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like him.
yeah.
And to me, what a compliment that is. You know, don't copy his act, but his mannerisms and his the way he used to speak. I mean, he was from Liverpool, but when he put that, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful song now, Vincent. I mean, that routine where he speeds up and slows down.
Yeah.
that's the one
Oh,
I've
that's
seen.
genius, isn't it?
I can remember seeing that for the first time on the Royal Command performance in 87, 88. And it was like, I'm glad I recorded it because the video, we just kept rewinding and
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah, I think with him, it's like you watch it, and he's some of the stuff he does. If you actually think about it, it's really difficult to do. Like that, it must be so hard to actually act that out. It must be hard to do.
It
But
is.
he
It's
makes
an-
it
it's
look
an
so
art. It's-
easy.
it's like an art,
Yeah.
isn't
It is.
It's an
I'd
art.
love to do it, but without doing it 100% and getting it 100%,
Yeah.
it's a disjustice to him, I think.
Yeah.
But I'd love to do that routine.
Yeah.
It's with probably a different song and make it your own. But what a routine!
I can't
to do.
imagine that feeling on their kind of scale. How that must feel to have a whole arena laughing at you.
Oh.
You know, the last Peter Kay one
What was
when he
that?
did the unheard
Unbelievable.
lyrics.
Yeah, and
You know,
stuff
wash
like
your
that, yeah.
back, stuff like that.
Well, that was a routine by a friend of mine and Louise's.
Really?
really?
And his people got in touch with him and
Yeah.
brought that off him.
Oh, amazing! Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
He was
Brilliant,
doing that years ago.
Yeah.
yeah,
The unheard lyrics,
Yeah,
which is
so
it's
good.
legend, isn't it?
yeah.
Which I do
unbelievable.
kind of like now with the Bee Gees thing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because nobody knows what the Bee Gees
yeah,
sing about, do they?
yeah. We love that, don't we?
Well, that takes us nicely on to our next question, really, because impressions are quite big in your act, I would say.
They are.
And
yeah.
we want to know, is it kind of, what's that process like for you? So is it you singing along to a song and you think, oh, actually, I sound quite like them? Or do you set out from the start, I want to sound like this person?
No, without a shadow of a doubt. You either... I can't sit down and make my voice sound like anybody else. It either does or it doesn't. You know what I mean? And like one impression can lead to another.
Yeah.
If you could do a Phil Collins, which is quite high, I can feel it. You can do a Tina Turner or Peter Andre because they're all that
Yeah.
kind of tone and pitch. If you can do like a Barry White, you can do a Tom Jones. If you could do a Bee Gees, you could probably do a Frankie Valli. So yeah, limited to what I do because I think if you can't do them well, don't do them.
I think that with all sort of impressions, even just down to like vocal impressions of people, I think obviously the best ones are where you don't have to say who it is first. And I feel like with your ones, if you just started singing like when you do your Bee Gees and stuff, people instantly know like what you're doing.
Yeah, and they're a laugh. They're not serious. They're a laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We love like when you do the Tom Jones one, and
the
then you do the
sheep
sheep
noise.
thing in the background. Like,
I can't tell you how many times me and my girlfriend have watched that.
Tom Jones. I said he buys you diamonds.
I mean, the one I get asked for the most is the Four Tops routine.
Yeah.
Where basically it's nothing like the Four Tops. They had one lead singer,
Yeah.
which was Levi Stubbs. The rest, but it was the four different pitches,
Yeah.
and it's a laugh the way you run across the stage in the mic.
So is that hard to do?
It is now. You're getting older because as you get older, your voice kind of like lowers a little bit, you know, in pitch.
Yeah.
So it is hard, and if I can get away without doing it, and I've not done it for a while, I do.
Yeah.
But then you get people come and say, "Oh, you've not done the Four Tops routine." I says, "Well, you've seen it, but that's what we've come for."
Yeah.
It's not real. That
We'll
innit?
put a few links and stuff in the description to this video.
Yeah.
But if this is your first taste of Marc Bolton, there
plenty
are
to explore.
hours of YouTube
Yeah,
fun
yeah,
for you
yeah.
to have.
Yeah.
The Four Tops routine is great. It's really good. Did you have any? I know obviously you said your dad taught you a lot. Did you have any vocal lessons?
No, not one.
Because you use quite a variety of like your chest voice, your falsetto stuff.
Not one.
Natural.
But a massive influence growing up, who my dad introduced me to, was a guy called Joe Longthorne. I don't know whether you're familiar with him.
No, I'm familiar with the name, but only through following you on Facebook
Yeah.
and you talking about him in the past. But
He's he sadly passed away last year.
okay, that probably was where I
yeah.
saw it. Yeah.
And his vocal impressions were the best, and we're just imitations of the great Joe Longthorne. He should have been a world star. That's how good he was, and so it was just singing to him, and then I'd sing some country music. So teaching me to sing was the actual records I played.
Yeah.
Never had any vocal lessons, but I wished I did, and I wished I'd like to now. I really would like to get some vocal lessons now to the longevity of your voice.
It'd be interesting to see how it would go for you to have a vocal lesson
would.
now, because you've had so many years of doing it.
Bad
properly.
habits. I've probably got loads
Yeah,
of bad
that's what I'm
habits. They
thinking,
could
yeah.
say, look, you could sing a lot better if you did this, and this. My wife, Louise, she does a lot of vocal coaching because she lost her voice through nodules, and she's got a great job now for Park Dean Resorts, and she's doing a lot of videos for the troopers to keep the voices over this lockdown period.
Yeah.
Exercise and things like that, and instead of just listening, I should take note and
Yeah.
do a few. In fact, I've got to do a few because I'm doing a live on Thursday.
Yeah. We should actually that would come out.
Yesterday.
Yeah, that was yesterday. So yeah, that was great. That was Mark. Well done. That would have been
This will be
yesterday.
Friday.
So it actually leads us quite well onto the next question. So, like, you have any pre-gig rituals?
Yes, I used to be in a duo once, and me and my mate, we used to kind of like do the
Just a quick prayer, just to
Yeah.
make sure you get through it. All
and,
right.
this ring was it's a Derby County ring, can you see?
Yeah.
And it's the only one ever made. My dad had it made.
Ah.
It's lost the diamond in it, and when I got engaged, it was there, and when I got
Yeah,
married, I
yeah.
said to Louise, "That's that." So I give that a little bit of a give me a good night tonight, Dad. You know? What I mean?
Yeah. That's
And
nice.
It hopefully it works.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So in terms of like so longevity of your voice, then onto that. So you don't do anything in terms of
No,
that sort of thing.
I'm
No.
very ignorant to the fact that I should.
Yeah.
But just going to doing this now, talking, is good exercise for
Yeah.
your voice. Going to the gig in the car or in the van, just singing, talking,
Sing on the way
humming.
there.
Nice little
I've
warm-up.
noticed if I'm driving into work, having a bit of a sing-song, your range is nothing compared to on your way back from work because you've been talking all day.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And you've been, it makes a
Absolutely.
massive
Yeah.
difference.
So when you say Louise is doing a job now where so she's not sort of singing anymore then?
No,
basically?
she,
Is that because of the loss of voice then?
Yeah, she's got nodules on her voice, which prevented her from singing the way she could. And she was a fantastic singer.
Yeah.
And she can
Very
still
good.
sing a tune now, but nowhere near what she could. But she's got a great job, and she's lucky.
Yeah. Is that along the same lines of like what Sam Smith and Adele had, and they had operations and stuff on their vocal cords? Is it a similar
Absolutely.
thing to that? Yeah.
And who's the lady? Julie Andrews from The Sound of Music.
Okay.
She had it, and she had the operation, but they kind of like cut a throat, a larynx when they were bringing the stuff
Well,
back out.
really?
And that
And
just
just
stopped.
it's gone.
Yeah,
Is that
end of-
caused by singing? rather than just loads of singers being unlucky that it's
No,
affecting
I
them?
think it. I don't know the science to it, but I think it's just overusing your voice, just not warming up properly, straight in singing, bad diet, drinking alcohol, things
Yeah.
like they all.
Loads of singers have struggled with it though, haven't they? I think Elton
course
John
they
had a period where he had
Yeah,
to
yeah.
start again, basically.
Mm.
Yeah, so the next thing we wanted to ask you about is kind of maybe the things we don't see in terms of the stress sometimes, the like expectations of being a performer, because there's going to be highs and lows, I imagine. It's not highs all the time, and we're very open, aren't we?
Yeah.
On this kind of thing, mental health and all that kind of thing. So we're just wondering if you're willing to share that.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure, especially with social media now and people filming you in the audience.
Yeah.
And if it's not something you'd actually put out yourself, but they've shared it on their
So
page.
you're already live on someone's
now you
Facebook.
think,
something.
oh no, I hit a wrong note there. It's like if anyone's doing a live in this lockdown, if you hit a wrong note, there's nothing that you can get away with. Like in the pubs and clubs, if they'd seen that, they'd forget about it because they've had a few beers, you know. But yeah, there was always that. And every time you go to a show, you think, well, what if they don't like what I do?
Yeah.
But
Even now, you feel like that?
even now, yeah, absolutely. You get to, I mean, my roadie Craig Craddock is the best.
Yeah.
He can get to a gig, and Louise was good at that, and she can look at the audience, and he'll turn around and say to me, and she did, "You'll have a good night tonight."
Mm.
And I said,
You just read the room and see who's there
yeah, I
and
said,
the
I don't
vibe.
feel it.
Mm.
And we'll get to a gig, and I'll say, "I think I'm going to have a good night tonight." I said, "I think you can struggle." And
Really?
you do, oh yeah, you're only as good as your audience.
Yeah.
Do you ever have like a down day where you're just not in the mood for it at all?
I've had a few of them over the lockdown period, to be fair.
Yeah.
Thinking, am I going to work again? Am I going to have to get another job? But before lockdown, did I have any? Yeah, I was always towards the back end of the career, getting older, the voice getting more tired. It was like, oh no, I hope my voice doesn't go. And then the stress of that made it go.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because I've got a wedding this weekend, or I need to earn that money so I can pay that bill.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of stress.
Do you ever like have a bad day? Say like you've had an argument with somebody, or you just you've been busy all day, or something may just happen in your life, and then you've got a wedding at 6 or something, and you have to go and be Marc Bolton, the showman. Do you have like a process of how you can just turn that all off and just go into the singer? Or
No, me and Louise have had a few ups and downs while setting the equipment up. Because, after 30 years, I kind of like know how I want it,
Yeah.
and then Louise would come in and say, no, it should be like, no, it's got to be this way.
Yeah.
And we'd have a few arguments, but when we went on stage, it's like my mum and dad when they're in the pub business. They could have a massive argument, but as soon as they're behind that bar, you would never know that they've had that argument.
Yeah.
It's a showmanship. Me and my partner from the Chevrons, we had a couple of arguments, and we went on stage, professional, and you want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like me and you with this podcast,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
course.
We just
I
slag each other
actually
off.
ate-
Or...
yeah,
I mean, I had to
ate
break them up.
Because for example, when I'm at work, in a management role as well, you always put on this brave face, and you don't let the cracks show. But then with me, I can walk around Sainsbury's and have a face on if I'm feeling a bit down. Do you feel a bit like, because you are quite well known in this area and all the fans you've got, do you feel like you've almost got to be like that all the time in public?
I am. Louise will say that. She'll say, "Oh, you missed the joy when you're out, and
Yeah.
you're with your friends and people that enjoy what you do. But when you're at home, you can be quiet." Like I've gone on FIFA this lockdown, and I've gone from the third division as I think it was Forest Town Rovers, and I've actually won the Premier League.
Get that on your CV.
Yeah.
So
But because you can just spend that much time on your own and
chilling out. Louise likes her programs, and
Yeah.
I'll play on that. But yeah, I can be not moody. I never wake up moody ever.
No.
Always wake up, really happy. But
Yeah.
you have them moments, don't you?
Yeah,
You
I
have
think
to,
that I think we're a little bit like that. Where like, if we go out with our friends, or just, I would say most people would describe both of us as being quite sort of sociable and outgoing and chatty and stuff like. Particularly my work friends and stuff would say that. But then I'm very comfortable, like on my own. Do you know what I mean? I could spend days, weeks on my own, if I needed to, and I'll be comfortable in that space as well.
Yeah.
So it's not a case of like when you go out and you're all sort of like, you know, excited and life and soul of the party. It's not like you're putting on an act, because that's you as well. That's genuinely you, a situational you, if you like. In that right situation, that's what you're like as a person. But also in a situation where you're at home, you do just want to chill out, and that's fine, isn't it?
Absolutely, you have to chill out.
Yeah.
So, something we desperately want to know: the what venues stand out for you as the best and the worst?
Yeah,
you've
best and
played?
worst gigs.
And we're not talking, you know, some of your Sam Bailey venues, which we'll get to later on. We're
Okay.
talking pubs.
Yeah.
Pubs and
That the
clubs.
I want to
viewers
know like
maybe might
salt
know.
of the earth ones that have like
Mm.
absolute dives, but
Okay.
they've been classics as well. If you
Oh, gee, where do we start? I can't pick a worse one out. There's the gigs I won't go back. There's gigs I won't go back to. But it's not because they're horrible venues or the people are horrible. It's just that my act probably didn't suit that gig.
Yeah.
I can't. There's not a gig that I can say is horrible, but best ones are great nights like at Don Amott's place, the Derby County director.
Oh yeah.
He owns a place called North Summercoats, and they have a lovely, lovely room, seats about 300-400 people. And when I go up there once a year and do a show, they're all there to see the show.
Yeah.
And like at Newell Social Club, when I put shows on, everyone's there to see a show.
Yeah.
And the great nights. But then you could go to the local pub, which is the Springfield, and all your friends have come to see you and give you that support.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. Do you find that it's better nights are when like either you've put them on or they've known for ages that it's you, or maybe it's a one-off show, so they're waiting for you to come rather than just you on a random Saturday at a random play.
The best nights are the ticket-paid events.
Yeah.
Whether you've put them on or a promoter's put them on and you've gone to do it, everyone's there, especially with social media. They've seen what you can do. We're going to see him.
Yeah.
And they come and they've paid and they want to watch.
Yeah.
And it's your job to entertain. And if they give you that chance to put a show on,
Yeah.
then we can deliver. But it's the venues you go to where it's bingo orientated, like Newell Social Club used to be years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and it'll be, okay, 3.5-hour spots, don't go over, cut that one short, 'cause we've got 3 flyers and a meat raffle to get in. And it's true.
Yeah. Oh, because the bingo and the meat raffle's more important than the
Of course.
singing.
Yeah, honestly, I can remember my daughter Connie when she started it. After about 10 months, she rang me up. She said, "Dad, there's only 5 people in tonight, and they've asked me to turn it down. The next volume is off." I thought, well, it's up to you, Connie. You can
Yeah.
come away and not get any money, or
Yeah.
just like go through the motions.
Yeah. How many gigs do you have like that at the start where you just call it a day? Sort of just. Have you ever played to an empty room, completely empty room?
No, because what I do is I'll say to the landlord or the committee, I say, look, this isn't working. Shall we work a deal out? You give us a few quid, cover expenses, and I'm not going to, stand there and sing to nobody
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then expect you to pay me. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Because that guy then turns around and thinks, he's been fair with me. We're going to book him again.
Yeah.
When
That's a
there's
really
no
good-
England match on.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you've got to be fair. You really have got to be. It's about scratching backs.
Have you had any funny heckles in your time?
Oh, yeah. I've been brought on stage. I can remember one time I brought on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a fabulous act tonight. It's not the act that's on the poster in the foyer. He's a last-minute stand-in. If he's crap, we'll pay him off. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together now for Marc Bolton. But heckles. Yeah, I've had the one that Chubby Brown gets a lot.
Go on.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
allowed to say.
We can't
Yeah,
we?
you can,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You hot bastard! You know what I mean? And then I lost the weight, and he used to be, didn't it? He used to be, didn't he?
Bastard.
Yeah.
I think you're quite good at playing them off, aren't you? I've seen a few videos where you've just,
yeah,
like,
of course.
Yeah.
this is a solo act, love, and stuff like that.
But it is, and if they come on, they're talking. I say, "Oh, it's not a quiz." But it's doing it without offending them. It's doing it without them wanting to get on stage and kick your head in.
Yeah.
Because your car's outside, you know what I mean? And you think, "Oh, I've got to get home. I'm in the middle of Leeds."
Mm.
You know what I mean? So it's a matter of doing it with a bit.
Yeah.
of,
You do it in a humorous way and get them
you
on your
have to,
side, don't
yeah,
you?
of course
If
you
you
do.
rub them up the wrong way.
Don't forget, comedy's a thing where if it's not going down well, I've also got that ability to sing.
Yeah.
So if they think, get on, you get a lot of, we're not here to hear you. I can remember coming back off the Sam Bailey tour, did a gig in Sheffield, and it's probably the worst gig ever, if you're on about that, Sheffield Lane. I'll never do it again. And this woman threw a beer mat at me. I'm trying to do a couple of gags, and it hit me on the cheek.
Oh,
A couple of inches,
that's
I'd
bad,
have been, yeah. And on this beer mat it says, we don't pay you to talk. We pay you to sing. And I just said to Louise, that's it. Gear down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what are you doing? I said, she can sing. She can entertain you now. But they were more happy having an extra few games of bingo than having the act on.
Yeah. So what's your opinion on things like the X Factor then, and the voice and stuff? Especially obviously knowing Sam Bailey as well. What's your opinion on X Factor?
Sam would, she swears by it. It's the best thing she ever did, which it is. Okay. With me, I don't know. I think she sacrificed a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of family time, and she'll say that. She'll tell you that. And Craig, he was left at home to look after the kids when she was in the house and that. But in the long run, it's the best thing she ever did.
Yeah.
Would I do it? I did. I went for the very first ever season.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I just lost all the weight, so I'd gone from being 21 stone to 15 stone. You can remember when I lost the weight?
Yeah.
And me and my dad, we went up to this hotel in Leeds for the first rounds. Now, folks were coming out of these rooms waving the green slip around. Pink. If you got a pink slip, you through to the next round.
Mm-hmm.
And we heard them, and they couldn't sing. Somebody dad's like, just paid £6 for a cup of tea in this hotel. He's like, you better get through now with this £6. And he says, you're going to walk this. They may as well give you the check now. Walk this. I went in this room. There was 10 people taken to each room. I walked it. The guy before me was Harold. Never forget his name. And he sung Daisy, Daisy. And he come out with a pink slip. And I'm thinking, game on.
Yeah.
I went in. I sung 20 seconds of a George Benson song, better than I could have sung it if you paid me £1,000.
Yeah.
Okay? And this young girl just put her hand up, not what we're looking for, thank you.
Really?
So, okay. I walked downstairs. My dad went, where's your pink slip? I said, I didn't get through. He went, you did, but where's your pink slip? I said, swear to God. He said, them two blokes over there just gone in singing Dance the Night Away. Never sung in their lives. The wives, but they've got pink slips. Where's your pink slip?
Yeah.
So from then, I'm thinking, alarm bells.
Yeah, yeah.
People walking out that hotel swearing, thinking, this is a fix and all that. And it's a TV show.
Yeah, and it's only got worse since then, probably, as well. That was the first season. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. But there's a lot of people now on it that they're told no to the seasons before.
Yeah.
Because, there's only so many. I think if it's still on when I'm around about 50, I'll probably have another little go.
Yeah, why not?
I actually think if you, I don't watch X Factor, but Britain's Got Talent, especially, me and Louise picked up on something that they don't show as many bad acts anymore, and I reckon it's got to do with there's a lot of heat around the Love Island thing, around the kind of ridiculing people on TV,
and the Jeremy Kyle thing as well.
So if you watch Britain's Got Talent at the minute, there's maybe one or two that don't get through, but even then
so
they're not being laughed at.
Yeah,
they're celebrating more people going through, and I think everyone's being a bit cautious now.
Because you sign a disclaimer that what you do can be shown. Even if you come off and you've actually been ripped to pieces, and you say please don't show that on TV.
Yeah.
They can.
Yeah, because you think of the early days. You think that guy who was from Ashbury, the chicken guy.
Remember him?
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, back in remember that.
Yeah.
I'm a Barbie girl. Yeah. So I imagine that he had a sort of little bit of a 15-minute of fame. Sort of maybe he did some club appearances or something off the back of that.
He did do some one-off appearances. He got paid well.
Yeah, but then he's got to go back to living a normal life now, and people just saying, "Oh, there's the chicken bloke from X Factor."
Yeah,
absolutely. The first winner of the X Factor. Can you remember who that was?
Steve Brookstein.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, he's back now to doing, the odd gig.
Yeah.
For a few quid.
Something to put on his poster, isn't it?
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. But it's strange, isn't it, with the X Factor? Because some of them, you look at some of the people like Little Mix or One Direction, even more extreme example, who you're talking about major international success, and then you've got your Leon Jacksons and your Steve Brooksteins. And just look, I suppose, isn't it? Really.
A lot of acts, and Sam will tell you this as well. A lot of acts who are established just want to go on, have a good audition, get shown on TV. Because once it's shown on TV, it's on your CV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you get a good reaction from the audience, you get 4 yeses. Even if you don't go any further,
it's on your show reel.
It puts a couple £100 on top of your fee, as seen on X Factor, seen on BGT.
Yeah.
So, like Sam says, that's the only reason she went on.
Yeah.
Just to try and get a few more gigs and get a few more, pound in a waste packet.
Yeah.
Little did she know that
she was going to go and win it.
Go and win it.
Her audition was fantastic as well, wasn't it?
Of course it was.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Okay, Mark. So, as our very first guest on the In Brother Words podcast, we've got a brand new feature, haven't we?
Yep. New feature.
It's called Guestions. Okay, so guests, questions, guestions. Right. So first of all, we're just going to ask you 5 simple questions, and we're going to ask these questions to every guest that we have. Okay, and then the 6th question will be provided by Robbie, and it will just be basically a pun on your name. So we'll get to
novelty question at the
a
end.
little novelty question. All right.
Do I
So
win a prize?
potentially. See how you do. So first question. It's a big one. Meal deals. So which supermarket does the best meal deal,
Okay.
and
what
what
you
would you have?
Meal deal, as in sandwich.
Yeah, you know,
or-
like a £3.
Well,
So
let
if
me
it's Tesco,
and
it's
Robbie
£3.
set this up. So I personally would go Tesco, yeah, chicken and stuffing sandwich, cheese and onion crisps, Ribena.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's sandwich, crisps, drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
My favourite. I'm not sure which supermarket do it, but Tesco's is nearest one for me. So I think
So that's where he's going.
that's where we're going. And I think my sandwich, the crisps would have to be Kettle's crisps.
Yeah.
Kettle
just
chips.
plain,
Yeah.
beautiful crisps. The sandwich, just probably a tuna and cucumber.
Yes. Classic sandwich. That is.
And a drink would be following your footsteps, a bottle of Ribena.
Ribena.
Yeah. Ribena is an elite drink.
You can't beat my wife's sandwiches.
No.
No.
Why?
What
What does
she
she
do?
make?
Oh, mate. My favourite, right, is the fish fingers from Marks and Spencer's on a beautiful, freshly cooked bread.
Someone's doing well for themselves, aren't they? Kettle chips and Marks and Spencers.
With best butter, sea salt, rocket, and a peri-peri mayonnaise.
Oh, hello. That sounds naughty, that does.
Why aren't we doing this at your house?
Yeah, I know. That sounds lovely.
Do
You
you know,
you
if
definitely
we-
have our dad's generation, because he told me yesterday that his favourite sandwich was fish finger sandwiches as well.
Yeah.
Not just fish finger sandwiches, mate.
This is different.
These are M&S fish finger sandwiches. Probably the best sandwiches in the whole world.
Well, if this goes down well and we do a part 2, it's coming from Mark's
Yeah,
delivery with them
and
sandwiches.
you'll be fed.
Yeah.
You'll be
lovely
fed and
stuff.
watered, boys, yeah.
Second one, for you personally, night in or night out? So do you prefer a night out with Louise, or do you prefer a night in front of the telly on the sofa?
She knows exactly what I'm going to say. I'm a hermit.
Really?
Yeah.
I like a night in.
Yeah.
Takeaway?
Oh, yeah, but favourite takeaway?
Yeah, go on.
Chinese food. My favourite food ever is fish chips and peas. Fish chips and
Couldn't have guessed that.
fish chips and peas, mate. From I like Casey's as well. They're my favourite.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Where's that? Across the road from John Paul?
yeah.
Yeah. Classic. Shout out them. They've been around for years as well, haven't they?
Oh, Casey's Fish Bar. Yeah, when I walk in, they know what I'm having, and it's just fish chip, hey, as Billy Ray would say, fish chip, hey.
What's your takeaway?
Takeaway of choice. I quite like Indian, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
The Indian on this estate is very good. I don't want to give away where we live, but I think, what's it called? Can't remember.
Don't know.
Spice Touch, it's called, in Church Gresley.
Mm.
Very good. We've had that a few times during the lockdown.
I'm more of a Chinese man than Indian.
Yeah.
I prefer Chinese.
Chinese will come before Indian, but I wouldn't turn my nose up at pizza. I'm not a pizza person.
No, me neither.
No.
I could take it or leave it with pizza as well.
Kebab meat. I don't mind having kebab meat if I'm eating it as I'm walking.
Yeah.
You know, because that turning spit of meat is like a lighthouse to a pisshead, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, so what would you have, like, say, if you went... Do you drink? Do you go out, like, and drink?
No.
No, not really.
No, but I like a glass of port.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you were coming, if you were coming back from a night out, say, what would you be? Would your choice be different then? Like, we wouldn't have fish chips and mushy peas.
so we all have the food we're not too
Right,
proud
coming-
of, don't we?
Yeah.
After a night out.
Anything in it coming back.
Yeah,
Absolutely
agreed.
anything. We used to stop at the McDonald's.
McDonald's is classic after a night
What
out.
do you have?
Me and Kirby, my cousin Kirby, she'll love this. We always go out together, and we always end up having like 20 nuggets each.
Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah.
is
Well,
that
no,
it?
like, we'll have other stuff as well, but like you want nuggets, but then obviously you just want loads of them basically at that point. So a 20 nugget box and maybe a £quarter-pounder meal as well, something like that.
Beautiful. I have the fillet of fish, 2, and then I build them up into one bun
Oh,
Okay.
double decker
with loads of chips in between the course, the layers,
yeah.
and 20 nuggets with the old sweet and sour sauce.
Yes. Have you had the curry sauce from McDonald's?
Yeah, they're all nice.
Yeah.
If the fillet of fish was 7 out of 10, what is Louise's fish finger sandwich?
11. There's no comparison.
Big. Yeah.
I guarantee you, boys, if you come round and she does you a sandwich of your choice of
Yeah.
filling, it's the best ingredients, and you can taste the butter because it's.
Yeah. Did she make you one of them before you got married? Like, was that one of the reasons why you married her, or was it after that you found out?
No, definitely not. She honestly, she couldn't cook. I brought her a cooking book for Christmas, and she was absolutely knackered because page 1 it said start with a clean plate. You know, she was doomed. When I first met her, I found a cockroach stuck in a rennie in a chalet. It was just awful. Can we edit that bit out?
Nah, it's
It must be something with the name because my girlfriend Louise can't cook either.
Mm, yeah.
Absolutely
Oh, Louise can.
awful.
She's cool.
Biggie. Oh no. First one. Favorite holiday ever.
that you've ever been on.
Favorite holiday. Well, there's no doubt whatsoever when we got married in Vegas.
Yeah.
We had 3 weeks out there, different parts of America.
Yeah.
We're gonna get
So
to
we'll
that.
get
aren't
to
we?
that in a bit, yeah, and you'll come back to your marriage.
Number 4. Ketchup in the fridge or the cupboard.
I don't like ketchup,
Ooh.
No, that's a curveball.
Yeah.
but Louise drinks it.
And
She'll have it on a Sunday dinner.
is
so
she a
like-
cupboard or
Really?
a ketchup gal?
She's a cupboard. My mayo's in the fridge,
Mm-hmm.
and all my sauces are in the fridge, but hers has always been in the cupboard.
Yeah. So I think actually officially it's supposed to be the fridge, but it seems like most people keep it in the cupboard. We keep it in the cupboard as well.
Once opened, it's supposed to go in the fridge, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no.
It doesn't last that long in our house.
Yeah. Please leave us a
Yeah.
comment on that one
Yeah,
because that's
let
the
us
jury's
know.
out on that one. And then finally, when you're in a car park, do you prefer to drive into a space or reverse into it so that you're facing out when you leave?
I tend to not go into car parks, not when the car. If I get scratched on it, I go mad. But
What
yeah,
do you drive?
just a Mondeo.
Yeah.
But it's a newish one. And it's nice. But
Yeah.
the spaces are so small in car parks, aren't they? So we're going. Louise has got a little run around because she gets like a high car for her job.
Yeah.
But she can't use it, for social
Personal use,
No.
yeah.
So we'll go in a little KA convertible, and if I can drive in, I'll drive in. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And then reverse out.
I'm with you 100%.
So I'm a reverse in guy.
But ain't it good when there's 2 spaces so you can drive in and then take the next space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the last one, the curveball question of the day, is Marc's Boltons. So, like, what tariff have you got on your phone and that? How many messages and stuff?
What tariff? What is
How much data do you get? How many calls
10,
and stuff like that?
10 gigs.
All the riveting stuff on this podcast.
Yeah, we ask all the most important questions here. So 10 gig, yeah.
10 gig, free calls, texts. They're all
Unlimited text.
Unlimited, yeah. But I don't like talking on the phone. Hate it.
More of a text person.
Yeah, I'm more of a on WhatsApp little voice thing.
Yeah, voice
yeah,
notes.
he sent me a voice
yeah,
note
it
the
was-
other day.
yeah. I need to get into that. That seems to be like the new thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sending
it's
people
loads
voice
easier
notes
than-
and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not a big talker on the phone, especially if I'm like doing something. But yeah, I do like this new Zoom thing. We do a lot of quizzes. Do you do your
Yeah,
quizzes?
every
week, yeah.
Friday.
Aren't they
Yeah,
good?
Yeah, brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Right, so we'll move on to the next section then, which is going to be about the Sam Bailey tour.
Yeah, so you touched on it a little bit earlier. Kind of want to know how that came about, really.
Okay. I've known Sam for years, quite a few years, and we'd always worked together prior to her going on the X Factor, doing quite a few shows. And when Sam did her first tour, which was part of the deal with winning the X Factor, and when she left Psycho Records, she kind of like went to America, wrote all her own songs, and produced her own album. Obviously, when you do a new album, you need a tour. So a promoter came in, took the tour on, and she wanted to be the hirer and firer, should I say, in this. And she kind of like all the people that, she loved and liked. I think she loves me. Do you love me? She says, I'd love Louise. She went for Louise first.
Yeah.
And Louise says, yeah. And then a few weeks later, when she couldn't get anybody else, she says, Mark, do you want to be on it? I thought, yeah, I'd love to be on it. It's the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. So give us a bit of and for the viewers as well. How big was the tour?
The tour.
I came to the Leicester one, the De Montfort Hall.
You did, sir. You did. I heard you. The tour size-wise, it was a long tour. It was a 3-month tour.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. And the best thing about it, we'd do like 3 nights, and then because she got kids, she got a lovely family. She wanted to go home for a few days, so we got to come home, and that was great. Normally
Yeah.
a tour is constant, done, finished.
Yeah.
So we could have done that tour in probably a month or just over a month.
Yeah.
But it was lengthened out, which
Stretched
was
it out.
great.
And logistically, like, did you stay in some hotels, or was it always come home?
No,
after
no,
every gig?
we had to stay. When we went on the run, when we did Scotland, when we did Wales, we stopped in hotels. We stopped in hotels because we did 3 gigs at a time. Some would be pointless to come home to go back down that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of hotel stopping, but we had a lovely tour bus
Mhm.
with the big films and DVDs and things
Oh,
like that.
cool.
That
Yeah.
was cool. It was just the most amazing time.
So were you like the support act? And
No.
on the actual
Backing singer. weren't
backing
you?
singer, yeah.
No, it was just we was part of the band.
Yeah.
Band. That she did a great thing with support acts, and I got Kirby on.
Mhm.
I think Oxford she came to.
Yeah.
Basically, what it was, you get a buy-in act. So if you go and see a concert and you see the support act, that support act is paid to be on that show.
Yep.
So whatever money it was, they
Well,
pay.
that'd be quite a lot for like for like a
Yeah.
big band. Yeah.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I can remember there was a band from Linton called Dumpy and the Rusty Nuts. I was thinking, this is true story.
Shout them out if they're watching.
Yeah, probably. I think they're still alive. I hope they are. And they all went on the tour with Status Quo in 1990, the anniversary tour.
Yeah.
And each one had to remortgage their house.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, to get on this tour. A lot of money.
Any like standout shows for you?
Oh, the one you.
The Leicester.
When we got
Course
to
one I went
Leicester, De Montfort Hall, they're kind of like, you're standing on the stage and you think John Lennon stood there.
Mhm.
Cliff Richard, Elton
It's
John.
a lovely
Yeah.
venue,
Lot of
isn't
ri-
it?
Yeah,
That's the last gig I went to. Actually, I went to see Keane there just before Christmas.
there you go. Keane have been on that
Yeah,
stage.
yeah.
And the dressing rooms at back, there was one that, because I like to learn the history about the theatre, the John Lennon dressing room, he always chose that dressing room.
Wow.
Well, 9 times out of 10, I got my own dressing room.
Yeah.
The girls were in theirs, the band were in theirs. Sometimes I jumped in with the band, because that's how it was. But every now and again, I got my own dressing room. And
Amazing.
John,
That was really
thinking,
cool.
what the hell? And when we did the Liverpool Empire, biggest theatre, I think, in the UK, I might be wrong, but that's a 3,000-seater. And they had the Royal Command Performance there, and you think, well, Lionel Richie's been in this dressing room, and he stood there, and
Amazing. Yeah.
it's unbelievable. You can't bottle it.
Yeah.
You just you didn't want it to end. And you seen the show, and it was a good family show. And to get everyone up at the end dancing on the 80s medley was just
Yeah. I was really surprised by how, like, she's proper just down to earth, like working class kind of.
great comedian.
Yeah,
comedian.
she's really nice.
Mm.
Came across really nice.
But to give me and all the others, Louise and Becky, a chance to come up front and sing,
Yeah.
lead.
Like showcase you.
yeah,
Nice, isn't it?
that was one of the questions I had down. Like, how did that come about? Because obviously you got to sing. What
Living
was it?
Years,
Living
was it?
Years that you get to sing.
But that was a crazy story. She got when we did the rehearsals in Solihull. She's like me. She can't remember lyrics, and I can't remember lyrics. So she's got a carpet full of lyrics on. She's going, okay, I want to do In the Living Years because of a dad who passed away like mine.
Yeah.
And she said, I can't be bothered to learn it. Will you sing it, Mark? I went, let me think about that. Yes, please.
Yeah.
But what I didn't know is it's a hard song to sing anyway, but she'd taken it up an octave, which is 2 keys.
Okay.
So she could, the low part she's okay with. So when I started singing, I thought, oh, she's high.
Yeah.
But they couldn't lower it because, they'd rehearsed it in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
key. And I said, yeah, I'll do it. She said, the only bit I want to sing is like the father passed away bit.
Yeah.
I said that, and that I used to introduce her. But the reason I got to sing it is she really didn't want to learn the lyrics.
That's a great story.
and
isn't
there's,
it?
and there's 3 verses on that.
Still in touch.
Yeah, we were in touch the other day. She gave me a phone call saying, you got to start doing some lives and all that, giving a bit of a kick up the backside. Yeah, of course we stayed in touch. We've always been mates.
Yeah. So how's that change? How's the X Factor and stuff changed her life
Nothing. Oh, changed her life.
in terms of like? Because wasn't she a prison guard or something?
She was a prison officer.
Yeah,
She's always been a singer and a successful singer, really.
Yeah.
Doing the holiday parks and always earned a living. But she was a prison officer, like you said. but it changed her life in the fact that she can give her kids what she what
Yeah,
they want.
amazing, isn't it? That.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I think it's kind of obviously limited on how much you can go into with it's other people's lives, but kind of do you feel like winning the X Factor is enough, even if you just do that one tour that's contractually in it? Do you think that's enough to like set you up permanently?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I
As
think,
long as you're smart with your money and stuff.
of
obviously.
course. I'm guessing this, but the £1 million record contract that you win is not just cash given to you.
Yeah,
You might get a bit of cash. We've never talked about it, but I'm taking it. She got some cash. She gets the rest paid for the album. The rest of the money paid for the album and the tour.
yeah.
And so but the fact that she won the X Factor, she's had a UK number one. Her album went platinum. You think, well, that's enough to keep you going.
Of course,
Definitely,
for the rest of your life,
Yeah.
because you're not going out for £200 a night then, are you? I mean, a fee's quite a bit more than
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
I can
course,
imagine.
Yeah. That's brilliant, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Well, I hope she sees this. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
To,
that'd be good, yeah.
She will, and I'm hoping it would be nice to get her on one.
Oh,
be
that'd
really
be
nice,
awesome,
wouldn't it?
yeah.
Well,
That'd be brilliant.
let me have a chat with her.
Yeah.
Us three, Sam, Lou, and some fish finger sandwiches.
Yeah.
That sounds like a
How's that?
dream.
That sounds awesome, yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, brilliant.
So around that Sam Bailey time was when I first saw Cornelius.
Oh,
Corny. Is he
I know
around?
you bring him.
Is he furloughed?
It's yeah. Him and Nigel.
Yeah.
They've been furloughed a while now.
Okay.
But he's definitely here.
Yeah.
He's waiting in the car actually.
Okay. Do you want to see if he wants to chat?
Chat now.
Yeah.
Corny! I'm here. Oh, it's such a pleasure to be with these gentlemen. Honestly, Robson and Jerome got nothing on these maggots, let me tell you. God damn you. Hi, boys. It's nice to be here.
How's
Good to have you here.
how's it been for you then, Corny? These unprecedented times.
Oh, my God. Have you seen my suntan? Have you seen it? I got that from the refrigerator light. Honest, I not got a clue how I've survived this. I really don't. Oh, it's killing me.
So you were born during the Sam Bailey tour times.
Yes, I was
What are your
asked.
memories?
I was asked by Samantha if I'd like to come upon the tour. I say yes at first, and I met a lovely, and she introduced me to Veronica, and she was lovely. She was a bit of a tart. But we loved her. She always used to do the windmill with her boobs.
Oh,
Yes, she got her boobs out, and she did that, and they were like naan breads, and they just flip and flop all over the place. And I quite liked it.
so what's your love life like, Corny? What's your situation at the moment?
It's very private, actually. I mean, I keep myself to myself. That's very, very. I mean, I had the News of the World once asked me that same question, and I gave them the same answer. Mind your own in business. That's what I say.
Would you be interested in coming on the podcast on your own sometimes, Cornelius? Just
Well,
yourself?
get your people to talk to my people, and let's make it happen.
Amazing. Cornelius, everyone.
Bye-bye. So enjoy the rest of the show.
So we'll move on to a new topic now, which is Derby County. Because
Yes.
obviously, me and Tommy are both Derby fans. Loads of people some unsubscribing now.
All the Forest fans.
Me and Tommy, we had a season ticket from about 2002-3-ish until maybe like 2012, that sort of time.
Really?
Yeah, so we had a season ticket for about 9 or 10 years with our dad. And then obviously all our uncles, like Uncle Gary and, like Stephen, Stiggy, they all go still every week now. So we used to go maybe 20 of us, something like that, every week for a long time. And we still go now to the odd home game and a lot of away games and stuff. And obviously you're a big Derby fan as well. So just wondering, basically your memories of supporting Derby really through the years. So when did you go to your first game? Can you remember?
I can remember the first game, and I don't know whether you've got the app, the Derby County app, but they've been reliving all the seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the first season, I've never been a football fanatic because my dad was never a football fanatic, really. So round about 19, when they got back to the 85-86, when they got back to the Premier League as it's known now, Division 1, That's when I had my first shirt from the sports shop that used to be in Newhall, Rob Hamilton's Cafe,
Yeah.
which is across the road from Jackson's,
Right.
Sainsbury's.
Oh yeah.
It used to be a sports shop. I can remember ordering my first ever Derby shirt.
Well, was that official gear, like proper licensed clothes, or was it like
that to order it in.
Oh,
but
okay,
they
yeah.
got like your stuff for school, like a little sports shop.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I got my first Derby shirt. It was around about 87, 88. And that's when I followed him. The first match I went to, me and my mate Dean Woodward, his granddad took us to the Forest Derby game. We got in. And this was pre-taking the fences down, the safety fences. And I was like, all the way through the
Really?
match. I said, have they scored yet?
Just the baseball ground then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we never got to go to the baseball ground.
Great
yeah.
ground. Great memories. But I didn't get to go to many matches until I kind of left school, got me, and I drove. And then I went to a hell of a lot from the early 90s. But I've only recently had a season ticket.
Yeah.
About 5, 6 years, 7 years.
Yeah. So obviously we were born like the 90s, but we're both named after Derby players. So I was named after Robbie van der Laan,
Was you
and he
really?
was named after Tommy Johnson. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
yeah. So yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
We've got our little sister Igor now.
Yeah. And a little brother Darren Moore. Yeah, what's the best game you've ever been to? Can you remember, is there only one game?
Yeah, I can. It was the very first season. No, it wasn't. It was the second season of supporting. So in 1989, my Uncle Keith came down from Manchester. He was a massive Manchester City fan. And my Uncle John, who always used to take me up Gresley Rovers, we went with Keith to watch Man City Derby. And I can tell you the lineup: Shilton in goal, Mel Sage, Forsyth, Paul Blaze, Mark Wright, Trevor Hebbard, Mickey Lewis, Garrett Williams, McMinn, Middlewhite, Blades, and Saunders.
Yeah.
And we won 6-0.
Oh, nice.
Never forget that.
Yeah.
Tight affair.
Yeah, tight game then.
But what a great game that
Yeah.
was. But I've seen some classics in the past few years. Great games.
So there's going to be people who are watching this kind of who aren't that into football, and that's why we try not to make the podcast too sports obsessed,
That's
do we?
fair enough, yeah.
However, I don't know about you, but I can't stress enough how good it is for bonding, especially with our dad. It was probably the major quality time we spent together. Do you know what I mean? Those Saturdays going to the Newhall Social Club, having a drink, getting on the coach,
through
going to the
through
game.
those years where we used to go, particularly in the early years when we had a season ticket, that was when we were still living with our mum. So we'd go with our dad at weekends. He'd come and pick us up, and that's what we'd do with our dad when we used to go and see him. We used to go. We had a
treasure them
season
memories,
ticket, yeah.
boys.
And
Treasure them.
when we got promoted in 2007, for example, we went to every game that season.
We were there at
The
Wembley.
playoffs on the pitch at the playoff semi-final there at Wembley, with our dad, and that's great memories, isn't it? Do you know
You'll
what I mean?
never forget that.
Yeah.
No.
And it was the fact that mine and my dad's memories was all music based. Playing in bands and things like that. So when I decided to go for a season ticket, the only reason I've never gone for a season ticket is because I have to leave probably 5 o'clock for gigs on a
Oh,
Saturday.
of course, yeah.
But my dad says, well, why don't we, me and you get a season ticket? And he got a blue badge, a disability badge.
Yeah.
So we could park smack across the
Oh,
road
dream.
from the
Yeah,
ground,
yeah.
okay? And we'd come out the match 5 minutes early, and I was home for 5:15.
Yeah.
Already had a
amazing.
shower, straight in the car, gone.
Yeah.
So it worked.
Yeah.
And we had a season before he took 2 ill. No, we had about half a season, and then he took ill in the October and passed away in the January, February
Yeah.
of the following year. So we had half a season together where it was just great.
Amazing, yeah.
Just no way on earth did I think my dad would ever take me to a football match. But it was brilliant. And I've kept his ticket on ever
Oh,
since.
that's nice. Yeah, yeah.
So, I take a friend
People
of
come
mine.
with you, yeah. What about favourite player? Any players that sort of stick
Well,
out?
at the minute, I'm doing that on Facebook.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
My favourite Derby County player ever is Ted McMinn. Proper winger. Get down, run at you. I loved him.
We only know him from the commentary on Radio Derby.
Yeah.
Remember, he used to do it.
That's right. But
They call him the Tin Man or something.
the Tin Man, that was him. Gary Middlemite was another great winger. Mark Wright, classic. Shilton. But players of today, who would be my favourite player? Who's your favourite player of today?
I've had a soft spot for Chris Martin for a number of years. I love a bit of Chris Martin.
I love his football brain.
Mine's
Yeah, he's
Idiakes, Inigo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Idiakes.
Ian Taylor was my favourite player. When we first used to go, so it's that
From
sort of
Villa.
era, that era of Ian Taylor, Leon Osman, them sort of players. That was our first seasons there. So Ian Taylor was my
Yeah.
favourite player for Derby then. But yeah,
our
I
first
loved,
ever game
like,
was Derby 4, Forest 2, where they hit the coffee cup. at private round.
Pascalino's coffee cup goal.
Yeah.
That was our first ever game.
Was it really?
Yeah.
What a game to go to.
Yeah, I
isn't it?
know.
Yeah.
We're going to start talking about family a little bit, if that's okay.
Oh, I love
Get
that.
more to the family side. So, obviously, you're now married to the lovely Louise. Where did you meet?
We were dogging. No. It's a great story, this. It really is a great story. She was entertainment manager of a holiday park in Hemsby, in near Yarmouth. And a few friends of mine, Neil Pitchers and Craig Pitchers, brothers, their father lived on the park. And they said, look, you've got to get... And they used to go and visit him. So they'd give Louise posters of me and say, got to get this lad booked, got to get this lad booked. And she says, look, I can't. We're all booked for the season. So the following season, she gave me a couple of dates. And I had to cancel the first one because, sadly, a family member had died, my mum's sister. So I had to cancel that one. But I finally got up to do a gig. And I had a great show. She came to see me. And little did I know that my poster was backstage on a wall of fame with all the others. And she used to say to her team members, I'm going to marry him one day.
Really?
He's my ideal bloke.
Oh, that's so
Bit-
nice.
I was a bit thinner in them days.
Yeah.
But she said, I'm going to marry him. And anyway, we become Facebook friends. And then the January of 2009 came and she became single. I became single, became more chatty on Facebook. Next thing you know it, we're living together come August.
Wow. It's quite fast then, really. Once you start,
Unbelievable.
yeah.
But if it weren't for them giving her the post and saying, look, give this lad a booking, then I want to know she existed.
Yeah.
And she really is lovely, isn't she? A really lovely
diamond.
lady.
Absolute diamond. Yeah, you never hear her call anybody other than me.
Yeah.
No, she's awesome.
So does she? Because obviously she's not from around here, is she? Originally, so did she
No.
move to here?
She's
then?
always moved. She's always been like what we'd call a red coat. They're called troopers now.
Yeah.
She's always been like a red coat on holiday parks ever since she left school. So she's always moved around. She was born in Ipswich, and then she kind of like moved to Essex. And that's where she got a bit of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She's
I
just
guess
like that, and that's where she picked that lingo up.
Yeah.
From she was with her ex-partner for 10 years.
Yeah.
And he was right. He's really chatting landlord, you know.
Yeah.
So that's where she gets the lingo from. But yeah, she had no hesitation to move up here. The reason we did move up here was obviously because my daughter Connie.
Yeah.
And that's why we did. But it's great. She loves it.
Has she picked up any of your lingo?
Hey, up me do. Why on why? I mean,
Yeah.
I love that lingo. Can't do it on
isn't it?
stage. I mean, talking to you now, it's no good me doing it now, is
Yeah.
it? Like, hey, man, hey, what you do? All right.
There's a website actually called swad.com. I don't know if you're aware of it. And they're making like basically a swad dictionary. And
Brilliant.
We look at it every so
call it
often, don't
Ductionary.
we? Yeah, it should call it dictionary. Yeah, but it's got everything on there, all your classics, and you can actually like send things in and say like, oh, what about this?
I can remember. Do you know a character, swaddling coat character called Knocker?
No.
Knocker Ely. He's unbelievable. He plays darts for me, and he come up to me once. He says, "Mark." I says, "What's up, now?" He said, Don't you do that song?" No. I said, "What song?" "You know, it goes. How's it go? It's called The Party Calling." So I've never heard of it. I said, "You have to sing it for me." He said, "Oh, Danny boy, the party calling." Unbelievable. I just love, but if you don't know the lingo, you never understand.
Yeah.
On this swad.com, they're all on there, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Me snap.
Yeah,
Lovely
snap,
food.
yeah. I remember.
What you eating?
Yeah. I remember my ex-girlfriend, the first time she ever came to Swad, she was like from down south. Took her to my grandma and granddad's house, my granddad Dave.
Yeah.
And everything he ever said to her for the whole time that I was with her, she used to look at me after he'd spoke, and I had to like translate what he said. She didn't have a clue what he was talking about.
Absolutely. Totally get it.
That's all, yeah.
Totally get it.
And then obviously, so you got married in the end, and you got married in Vegas. So I wanted to ask you about that
We did.
experience.
We was planned to marry 2015 in England at Drayton Manor, but with my dad dying in the Feb, he was my best man. And like Louise says, I don't want a wedding where we have to raise glasses. You know what I mean? And you're going to feel on edge. Your dad's not there. Your mum is. So we kind of like postponed it. And then we come up with the idea of going to Vegas. Well, best thing we ever did. Absolutely. I'm gutted that my mum and my sister couldn't be there. I mean, it would have cost my sister a fortune, and it's no good taking kids to Vegas.
Yeah.
Because there's just nothing for them
Was
to
it just
do.
you and Louise, or did
No,
Connie
there
go
was
as well?
Connie came.
Yeah.
There was 13 of us on tour
Oh, no.
for that part.
Awesome. Yeah.
People that can we come? Oh, well, if you want to
Yeah,
come.
if they're willing to pay and want to come on holiday, then why not? Yeah.
And they did. And the only thing about Vegas was we was only there for 6 days,
Yeah.
and 3 of them were took up with the wedding, and I'd love to go back with nothing to do with the wedding, And,
Maybe you could go for like an anniversary at some point.
well,
Do you know what I mean?
Louise's 40 in August, and we was going to go. Book it September.
Nightmare. Yeah.
Just come that close to booking it. I really did. Or New York, somewhere like
Yeah.
that. I'm so glad I didn't, because everyone's fighting to get the money back now.
Yeah.
So did you get married like by an Elvis impersonator or something like that?
No, Chewbacca.
Was it?
No. No. It was. Do you know what? I can't. To this day, I can't. Didn't know what he said. It was French. Marc. Sorry. I think we're married.
You're not 100% sure.
I know that we got photos chucked in with it, so that must mean we're married.
Yeah, I've got a photo actually of. Well, we'll edit it into the podcast. He looked great on the day.
We did. We
of you.
both lost a few pound. I mean, Louise always looks great, but
Yeah.
I'd put my weight back on at the time. Then I'd lost 3 stone for it, which I've gained again. Of course, I wanted to. But yeah,
It was like a really nice, relaxed look with like the open shirt and the
That's
little flower and stuff. It looks
absolutely
really
lovely, it looks
good.
really
Yeah.
I mean, we was there in Feb and it was still hot. Still really warm.
Did you treat that as like your honeymoon as well?
But we did, because we went straight from there. I wanted to go. I love country music.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go to Nashville. So we had 5 days in Nashville, and we met I've known this lady for years online, Melissa. She had a week off work, and she took us everywhere we wanted to
Oh,
go.
amazing.
Up to Memphis. So we had a week there, and it was amazing, but it was so cold.
Oh, really?
Freezing. So we've gone from Vegas, where it's red hot, to Nashville, where it was free. We had hats and everything.
Did you pack for that? Did you prepare for?
Yeah,
the fact the weather
but
was
we
gonna
brought Melissa done as a goodie bag, loads of woolly hats and
Oh, yeah.
scarves. Nashville. She treated us. We'd never met this woman before.
change? Wow.
Never met Melissa and Rich, her husband, before. And then until she came to the hotel, as far as we're concerned, and her as well, we could have been serial killers.
Yeah.
And she picked us up, and we went for this amazing steak dinner. She took us to the best steakhouse
Yeah.
in town.
I wanted to get to that because I'm a big foodie, but also my favourite food is American style, like
Unbelievable.
ribs, meat.
And to get the waitress to speak swad, she says, these guys are from UK. Oh, y'all, you're here for a great week here. Guided tour. I said, can you say, what do you want me to do? Okay, I'm going to go here. Well, you want to?
Was it amazing?
It was
great?
amazing. And then we finished off with 8 days in Orlando.
Oh, okay.
That was
Did you do all
Louise's
the
choice.
parks, like theme parks.
Weren't
and
looking
stuff?
forward to it. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not one for queuing, Alton Towers or anything like that. But she'd booked us. We spared her dad, our parents, and they spared no expense in chipping in with this. But we booked the Hard Rock Hotel, which was you could come out the hotel and walk from here to my car away, and you're in the park.
Wow. Yeah.
How cool is that?
So then, other family then. So you mentioned Connie. So do you want to talk to us a little bit about her and
Yeah,
the relationship that you've got with her now?
Oh, it's great. It's a great relationship. She was born in '95. After me and her mum got married in '94. Great singer. She we kind of like divorced 2000, so she had what it's like to come from.
Yeah, I got to say she's had quite a similar life to us, really, actually,
Yeah.
because she's in the middle of our 2 ages, so she's very similar age to us. And
Absolutely.
then obviously our parents got
And
divorced early as well. So.
I didn't know. It can affect some kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she liked the fact she got 2 Christmases and things like that, but not having a mum and dad together, it must be weird. I mean, I've not lived it. You
Yeah.
guys have.
Yeah.
But now, she's a grafter, an absolute grafter. She got a job. She works at my mate's restaurant, and she sings. She's kept singing up a little bit just before the lockdown.
Yeah.
She wanted to have a bit of time, with her friends and things like that, which is fair enough. But she can. In fact, you ought to have her on a podcast because she's awesome.
Yeah.
She's got a great personality.
Like you say, you really do sacrifice a lot being an entertainer, don't you?
You do.
Like your weekends and stuff
You
are just
do.
gone. I mean, I feel it working in a
Yeah,
restaurant. Never mind.
that's why I
like-
asked about whether or not you felt that you were missing out because you were working unsociable hours in the early days. You know, when you're singing at 18, 19, 20, everyone else wants to be out on the weekends, don't
But I
they?
didn't drink. 'Cause
Yeah.
when my dad had the pubs, you see, and I passed my driving test, I thought, well, I don't want to drink, you know. And I've seen what alcohol did to people,
Mm.
and it's just it's something I never went down. I'm not saying I don't like a drink.
Yeah.
I love it, but if you put me a glass of wine there, I'd drink it like a cup of tea or pop.
Yeah.
And then I'd be drunk, and
Yeah.
I'd just fall asleep.
Yeah.
So it's not worth it, is it?
No.
Yeah. And what about there's another very special little lady in your life I want to talk to you about. She's Gucci.
Absolutely. Louise says she wanted a dog. I said, you've got more chance of seeing Stevie Wonder do an advert for Obtrex. I am not having any kind of dog in the house. She says, Mark, it's like that. I said, I don't give a damn. And one of our friends, Sam, she got this beautiful pom that she treated like a baby, okay?
Yeah.
Because she was having no more kids. And then she found she was having a son. And when the son came along, and obviously Gucci got pushed out a little bit, a bit jealous, and she don't like kids. So it was a matter of putting the dog out with the other dogs that they had, and it wasn't the right place for her. So she said to Lou, why don't you have her? She said, oh, Mark will go mad, he'll microwave it. It's not happening, you know what I mean? Which I didn't. So she says, well, let's have it on trial. She says, if you don't like it, I'll take her back.
Yeah.
You know? So we had her. And this dog was like remote control. If I went to somebody's house all ready to go out and their dog jumped up me, covering me in, he likes you, well, I don't like it. And the smell of it all over. She doesn't run to anybody. She doesn't like anybody else. She just sleeps. She doesn't like going on long walks. You have to carry her in a ponch thing. She's just a human being.
What,
She'll-
like one of them baby carrier things?
like
she'll
a
walk a
legend.
little bit, then she'll just jump up
Yeah.
her legs, and she'll go. "Ah!" And
See, I absolutely love dogs, and
I do now.
yeah, I was going to say, I think it's a very common thing. I think a lot of people have this story of, particularly the man in the house doesn't want a pet, whether it be a dog or a cat, and then they get it, and then all of a sudden it's like your baby, and you just love it more than you ever loved anything, and it's just like your whole life.
Absolutely. Do you know what? When I used to see people write on Facebook, "Oh, R.I.P. my dog, we've lost," and I'd write something like, "Sadie buying a joint this week," you know what I mean? Something sick like that, and I didn't get it.
Yeah.
But boy, do I get it! I can't even kill a fly now. Or
Really,
spider.
yeah, because you've got that love for an animal that you've never had
Can't do
before. Yeah.
A lot of cruelty to animals. You know, where I'd see dogs being.
Yeah, or there's like dog farms in China and stuff like
Oh
that.
my
Yeah.
god! And it wouldn't
Heartbreaking,
bother me-
isn't it?
Yeah, heartbreaking. It wouldn't bother me before, but now
Yeah.
I'm massive.
Yeah. So she was already called Gucci then before you.
Yeah,
got
we
her?
did. We didn't name her.
I was going to ask about the name, but obviously.
We didn't name her. I wanted Keith. If I have a dog and it's a boy, it'll be Keith.
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
simple.
Gucci and Keith would be amazing.
Yeah,
That's so
we
funny.
watched her temptation video that she did. You know, when Louise left the room and left the food
Unreal,
there.
that, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's probably my
unbelievable.
favourite video.
Yeah,
it
it's
really is.
So cute, so
It's
cute.
like she's gone. She's so greedy.
It's obviously a bit more of a sensitive issue, but we definitely wouldn't be doing this podcast justice if we didn't address the relationship with your dad.
Oh.
And obviously he's passed in 2015, I
It
believe.
was, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, just talk a little bit about that.
He was an absolute legend. People say SWAD legends. He was a legend. There's no two ways about it. No one had got a bad word for him. He was in the right trade at the end as well, in the pubs and clubs. But with my dad growing up, he was a fair man. Fair, very fair. Hard, you know, and that, but he was fair. Everyone had to have the cut of the pie.
Mhm.
I can remember my mum used to have 2 jobs, and my dad would work for 7 Trent, so he'd be -3 the weather, and he'd be up to here in water, you know, in bursts.
Yeah.
Then he'd have to come home and go architect somebody's ceiling or plaster someone's wall, just so me and Joe could have stuff at
They're just cut
Christmas.
from a different cloth, that generation,
Oh.
aren't they?
Unbelievable. No, he was a great man. Do you know, I had a dream, and it was a great dream, and I didn't want it to end, that I got a phone that I could go back on the calendar, press a button, and it took me to that date.
Oh, wow.
And it was like a time phone.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? And I'd go back and see who Jack the Ripper was.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I went back to 1965, and I walked into a pub, and there's my dad, age 20, me now, and I made friends with him not knowing that he was going to become my dad, but me knowing that he was my dad. and we become great mates. And you know, when a dream and then you wake up and think, I want to keep that going,
Oh, wow, yeah.
and then you just can't get it back. What a great dream that was.
Yeah.
I'd have loved to have known my dad as a friend years ago as well, because the stories and that I've heard about him, brilliant. But we had a great relationship. We had our ups and downs. We did, especially when we worked together in the pubs and that. He'd chuck stuff at me, I'd chuck stuff at him. You know? But that's the way.
So was he in the bands and stuff that you were in as well? So music-wise, was he involved?
When I was, it was at the Dart at Statenhill. It was a rough pub. But there was Kev on bass, my dad on guitar, Bet singing, and then my dad brought me a keyboard. He says, right, you can come out and play keyboards with us. And I was only about 15, 14, and the first song I sung was A Good-Hearted Woman. It was all out of key and everything. It was terrible. But it was a great start, and I learnt a lot from him, you know, doing that. Without my dad doing what he did, I probably wouldn't have been a musician, really. No. Definitely not. But yeah, and then the latter end of his life, we had a band called C.J. Gibson and the Shagabons with Carl, and that was great. And just to be on stage and there's your dad, how cool is that? It's like,
amazing,
how cool was it where you got a season ticket with your dad?
Yeah,
you know. And
well, when Dad's been in his fair few bands and stuff, hasn't he, in the past, and his latest one, The Shore, that was quite a few years back now, but when me and Robbie used to go and see him, like, how that felt was amazing. So I can't imagine how it must have felt to be on the stage
up there
with him as
absolutely.
well.
Do you know, I didn't know your dad was a musician, a singer and that, until me and Carl got together, which was about 10 years ago.
He's very good.
Towards the end then, like when he got ill and stuff, was that a difficult time for your family?
It was, yeah, because he told us all about his illness, and we had a bit of a family meeting, and he got a choice of treatments, and one of them was a radiation treatment, an experimental treatment that he was on, and I had to take him to Birmingham every day for this radiotherapy, and we become really close then, you know what I mean? Every day for, I think it was 6 weeks. So he was doing well, and he was having a bit of herbal cannabis. Can I say that?
Yeah.
As part of his treatment, and folks were coming up to me going, I thought your dad's got cancer. I says, yeah, he has. He says, he looks great. He did. He looked absolutely great.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they changed his treatment to these capsules, like chemo capsules. So he thought, I'm not going to take the
Cannabis,
whatever it was. I'm just going to take these. And that was in the October, and he passed away in Feb. He just went downhill so fast, mega quick. But we had him home, my mum and my sister and Connie and Louise, and I chipped in as well. They looked after him amazingly. But I was with him on his last night. Mum had gone bed.
Oh, amazing.
And we had a Treetops Cancer Care from Home. They came in, and I just got down on the settee, and she said, I think you better come in. He's on his, you know what I mean? So we made sure we got him looking, cleaned him up, and had a bit of time. Then I woke my mum up, and then he just passed away, which wasn't too long of him mega suffering, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm glad he came home for his final days. I wouldn't have liked to have been in hospital for his final days.
No.
But you just think to yourself, if he'd carried on using the cannabis, whatever it was he was
It's
taking.
like CBD oil, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like he put it on a biscuit.
Yeah, there's a well, you know, it's quite a controversial topic really, but there's a lot of people who, and there's a lot of sort of research as well on the benefits of that, particularly for things like cancer. And there's a lot of people who swear by CBD oil. There's a lot of people who just take it who aren't even ill. It just helps them in general in daily life and stuff. So yeah, you can see how those
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But when he stopped taking it to take these capsules, he just went downhill so fast. He stopped coming to Derby. He didn't eat. So we had a conversation with him and says, "What happened if he'd have kept taking that? You know, not saying he'd still be here today, but you know."
How old was he then when he died?
69.
Yeah, it's quite young, isn't it? Really?
It is, I think so. But none of our family lived past 70. My grandma's, I think my granddad did. But my grandma's, my uncles and aunties, my uncle, my dad's brother died at 37, heart attack, fishing, and he was as thin as he was thin.
It's all right, mate. Don't worry. We'll edit that out.
He was as thin as him.
Yeah.
But none of us lived past 70. I mean, my mum's 70 in June this month, June the 25th. She's plodding on.
I was going to say, how's your mum been then since then?
Well, since my dad died and she got broken into. someone's had to stop with her like overnight. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So we take it as a family. We take it in turns. But obviously with this coronavirus, she's had to stop on her own.
Yeah.
But we go down every day, sit on the patio. She'll talk to us through the window, pot of tea, and but she's been amazing,
Yeah.
amazing, and she looks great. You know,
Yeah, so I really vividly remember your mum and dad, like from when we were younger, when we used to come to your shows and stuff. Like, in fact, I've got one very strong memory of being in. You tell me the name of the club. It's across the road from Barclays Bank in Swad.
Swad Cons.
Swad Cons, yeah. And it was when you were in the band because you were playing keyboard, and your dad was there, and your
Yeah.
mum, and like the whole group, like us and our mum
rammed,
and
wasn't it?
Dead Gem, and like Colin. Yeah, packed. Like quite regularly that used to happen, didn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, and I remember your dad being, like you say, a right legend, really.
He
particularly
was.
for this area.
No one had a bad word. I mean, his funeral was, they couldn't get him in. They couldn't
Yeah.
get them in. I mean, there's loads of funerals like that, but literally couldn't get them in. And I did his service. I don't know
Oh,
how I
wow.
got the strength to do that. My mum says, "Do you want to do it?" I said, "Ask me on the day." And then we had a, because my dad wasn't religious, so we had a atheist. is it?
Atheist, yeah.
Yeah. She comes, says, she welcomed everybody. She says, "I think Mark wants to, say a few words." Well, I ended up doing the service because we had an hour service.
Yeah.
And we just talked and we laughed and
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
that's how I would have wanted it, though, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We had a great send off, and then back to the social club for a few sandwiches and a pot of tea. I wished he was around to see the Sam Bailey tour and is on some of these stages.
Yeah,
I
So,
really do.
Was there anything that you did in the time when he was alive that he sort of specifically said to you that he was like proud of you for, or anything like that, or any
Every day.
Yeah,
Whether it be singing in his pub, which he had the Angel, the Greyhound, the Domino at Hartson, which was the Snooty Fox towards the
Oh yeah,
end,
yeah,
and Church Gresley Memorial Club, which your mum used to come.
yeah. Is that
Yeah,
the
I
one
remember
near Gresley Park? It's a car
Yeah,
park
it's-
now, isn't
it's-
it?
it's
Flattened
nothing
it.
now, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was mega proud. Basically doing what he said I could do, and earn money from it. So yeah, he was very, very. He always used to want me to do more, but I'm a bit set in my ways. I'm happy doing what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I'm earning a nice little living, so I really am happy.
yeah,
I tried the X Factor thing. I seen what it was about. Not for me, but he thought I could, go knock it. You got knock doors, lad. It's not going to come to you. You got to knock on doors. So I said, Dad, it's not as simple as that. And it's not. But he just wanted the best.
yeah. I think you can underappreciate the fact that you've done your entire life. You've worked professionally as a singer.
Yeah.
How many people would love to do that for a living? Like I'm one. I would love to
100%.
be able to do that as a profession, as a job. Do you know what I mean?
Whether you're singing to one person or 100,000 people, if you ain't got to go down a pit or work in a hole,
Exactly. Yeah.
do something you hate doing, how lucky is that?
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
Definitely. So just coming to the end now, so just a few questions to wrap up, a bit of reflection. So looking back at where you are now, all the way back to when you started out singing, is there anything you'd do differently if you could rewind the time?
Yeah, there is. Unfortunately, this business is all about looks as well as talent. So I think I would have, in the 90s, a lot of people that I've worked with that have stars in the 60s, like Brian Poole and that, they always said to me, if you was around in the 60s and the 50s, you'd have been a star. It's as simple as that. But when I started out early 90s, it was the boy band era, Boyzone
Like
and
you take
Backstreet
that,
Boys.
and stuff like that.
And look nothing like them.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would have done, if I could have my time again, was lose a bit of weight early and see where that took us. Because I enjoyed singing, and a lot of people said I was good at it. So if I got the looks as well, you never know. That's the only thing I'd change.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah. You've got to have bad gigs, and you've got to have crap times to appreciate the good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I think.
Yeah.
Two final questions. The first one, a really simple one. What makes you happy? When are you at your happiest?
Me?
Yeah.
I love great food in good company. I like that. Also like being at home. Do you know what I've enjoyed? The lockdown itself. Me, Louise, going down my mum's, having a little barbecue and a pot of tea. She's,
Well, like the simplicity of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just love it. I love the fact that we call it locky down time. Well, we just put the telly on. I mean, that's me anyway. I love my own company. I love, love to be with Lou. and things. Yeah, so I'm happiest when I've got a good plate of food in front of me,
Yeah.
good film on.
All right, so the last question then of the day. If you could go back and give one piece of advice to the 18-year-old you, what would it be?
18-year-old me. Oh well, the school time's passed, so that's out the question. 18-year-old me was live life first, live it. Like I never went on holiday with my mates because I didn't fly.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I'd love to have done that.
Yeah.
Love to have gone on holiday with some.
Like a lad's holiday.
Yeah, never did it.
Mm.
Never did it. Well, I don't want to say don't get married because I was happy. We had a great home. Jackie was a great wife. We had a lovely daughter.
Bit early in hindsight.
In hindsight, yeah, Jackie wasn't. She was, I think, about 26, 27.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When we got married, I was like 19, going on 20. So yeah, probably just a little bit, just 25 before you even think about getting married.
Yeah.
That would be my idea. Yeah. How old are you boys now?
I'm 25. I'm 26.
I'm 23.
soon.
Yeah.
So you're at the age.
Well,
But
yeah, I've been with Louise over 2 years now.
still time. There's loads of time.
Neither of us are in a rush, which is really nice.
There's no need to rush.
Plus, he's got a
Yeah.
potential stag do coming up, so there's your lad's holiday sorted.
Absolutely. I look at it like this. You've got better things to spend your money at the minute. Like
Yeah,
a
we want to get our
house.
own house and stuff.
There you
so-
go. There you go. Me and Louise were together since 2009. So we were engaged for quite a while.
Mm. And we
You know.
can't feed a horrendous Starbucks addiction if we get married now.
Do you
to
like coffee?
Yeah.
Do you really?
I had my first coffee ever 2 years ago at the age of 23.
I've only had
And
one
ever
or two in
since.
my whole life. I'm not
I'm not one of
in it.
these addicts who needs it all the time.
You're not talking like a cup of coffee in the house. You're
No, it's like
talking
lattes.
I'm talking
and all
about
that
like,
sort of stuff.
yeah, latte and stuff.
don't bother me.
No, so I don't like the instant stuff you make at home.
love
I
Kenko.
sound like a snob. But,
Kenko, yeah, you like proper stuff, don't you?
mm.
I'm not a coffee person. I'd rather have an OXO.
Right, that is all for us.
Yeah.
Have you enjoyed it?
Loved it.
Yeah,
Absolutely loved it. We could have talked about loads of stuff.
we could.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure
Part
we'll have a
two
part two.
upcoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
2 coming soon to a theater near you.
Yeah, so give us a like, give us a subscribe. There'll be more of this coming, and we'll put a few links to some of your stuff as well on there.
Cool.
And hopefully you can crack on with the live stuff that you did
Absolutely, yeah.
yesterday that went really well.
Yeah, so if you missed that yesterday, go check out Mark's live and yeah, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it to your friends as well. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Amazing.
Awesome. Cheers, Mark.
I enjoyed that, mate.